Today, there's going to be a theme in our conversations around Bryce Young. The theme is, and I've been kind of obsessed with this because it's the quarterback nerd in me, is trying to find a way to honestly have conversations about Bryce Young while acknowledging the Panthers are not good around him, right? Because I refuse to believe that it's just you can't talk about it year. I understand that the supporting cast is not good enough, that Scott Fitter, the general manager, and the front office did not put the right players around him, did not put, quite frankly, good enough players around him. I completely acknowledge that. Frank Reich at first and Thomas Brown now, the play calling has not been conducive with building a young quarterback up. They've suffered some injuries at key positions that make it tough. Like, I completely understand all of that, but I also do not believe, I refuse to believe that just means, all right, you can't take any stock in anything Bryce Young has done this year because he was put in a tough situation. Right? It's not, all of those mistakes, what do you expect? The team around him was bad. I refuse to believe that. So when we talk about Bryce Young today, there's going to come with that expect me to push back against that narrative. Expect me to push back on that belief because I just think it's not true. So let's look at last night, okay? And I'm not talking I don't have my days confused. I know I do that a lot up here. They all bleed together. But no, like actual last night, Monday Night Football, 2 games, 2 rookies found wins. 2 rookie quarterbacks found wins. Tommy DeVito found a 3rd straight victory. Tommy Cutlets for the New York Giants. Will Levis found a win despite being down 14 with 3 minutes to play. Now let's go through some of the other rookie quarterbacks that have started this year. C.J. Stroud has won a whole bunch of times. Anthony Richardson only started 4 games, won 2. Aiden O'Connell with the Raiders has won 2 games. I know Jake Browning isn't a rookie, but it's his first time playing. He'd been part of like 26 different transactions. He's won 2 games, and Joe Burrow didn't get hurt that long ago. Tyson Bagent, undrafted free agent rookie, on a bad team in the Chicago Bears who look like they could be drafting in the top 5, won 2 games. Bryce Young has started 12 games and has 1 win. You're telling me that none of those guys had tough situations? None of those guys had the chips stacked against them in any of those wins? Yeah, sure. Bryce Young has had wide receivers that struggle to get open. He's had offensive line that hasn't given him time. Will Levis was down 14 with 3 minutes to play. The last 600 times that has happened, the team that is down 14 with 3 minutes to play loses the game. He found a way to win. And his team found a way to win. Give the defense credit for the turnovers. Tommy DeVito was the 3rd-string quarterback behind 2 guys that were at least semi-proven in Daniel Jones and Tyrod Taylor. So he wasn't getting a lot of practice reps. He wasn't getting reps in camp. He wasn't getting reps leading up until suddenly he was on the field.
He was getting scout team reps.
If that. A lot of times the backup in the NFL, maybe not Tyrod because he's a veteran and he might be, I'm too cool for that. But a lot of times the number 2 takes the practice scout team reps just because they're only getting 1 or 2 reps with the ones and they want to throw passes. Like DeVito was getting nothing. Stepped in and he's playing well. Who's his best wide receiver? What wide receiver for the Giants is getting a whole bunch of separation? If you told me Anthony Richardson has a much better supporting cast, but he's going to get 4 starts, or Bryce Young is going to play darn near the entire season, who should have more wins? You could acknowledge that the Colts have a better supporting cast and say, well, it's only 4 games. I'm probably taking Bryce. That hasn't happened. Right? They all have had better offensive line play and better wide receiver play, but not in all of those games that they've won. None of them, I'm now asking sarcastically, none of them struggled with short prep weeks or being thrust into a bad situation. A lot of them have. Like there is a way to look at Bryce Young's situation and acknowledge that it's not good, but also acknowledge that we've seen other quarterbacks have some success and lead their teams to success while also being in not great situations. It's the gift and the curse of being drafted high. You're drafted high because the team that's drafting you is not very good. And you may say, well, the Panthers were actually the 9th worst team last year. Yeah, but they traded away DJ Moore. So maybe they, without DJ Moore last year, are they having that 6-game win streak? Who's PJ Walker throwing the, what was it, 112-yard pass to if it's not DJ Walker when he took his helmet off and it cost the whole thing? It's completely okay to look at Bryce Young and have two things be true, right? It's one of the things I champion. And I said it this morning on WRAL News with my guy Ken. Sometimes we get caught in the sports conversations where we think every conversation around sports is like a game of sports, where there has to be like a winner and a loser. One winner, everyone else is a loser. Like it's a 100-yard dash, right? If I like Bryce Young, then everyone else has to stink. I think there's plenty of blame to go around, right? You can say, yeah, you know what, the supporting cast wasn't great, and they really put him in a tough situation, and they're asking him to do too much for a rookie, while also saying, I wish he was able to do more with what he's been given. He's been given, at times, trash, but I wish he could do more with that trash. And I think it's fair to ask him to do more with that trash. The way I was trying to describe this to Dennis, what was it, yesterday, where it's going like, let's say Bryce Young, with the supporting cast he's been given, -10, right? Yeah. Like on some kind of advanced analytic that judges how good an offense is playing, -10. I'm not saying I need him to be a 17 on the positive side, right? I'm not saying like if you imagine that as one of the better offenses in the league. I'm saying I wish at the beginning of the year it started as a -10, and by now he has it at a -6. Right?
Progress.
Like, but just move in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
Show some improvement. Be better at being bad. Right? I know it sounds weird to say out loud, but we saw Bryce Young play the Saints twice, 3 months apart. It looked wildly similar. That's the problem I have with it. That's the problem I have with it. And seeing other quarterbacks in bad situations who are also rookies get better over time just kind of illuminates it a little bit more.
It's like DeVito, if you look at his stats yesterday, weren't great. There was nothing eye-popping, but
efficient,
he made
but small.
But but he made the throw when you needed it.
And do you know what else he did? That Bryce Young actually did do well this year. This week.
Ran. Yeah.
If your eyes are confused, I don't know what I'm seeing in the defense. My time is getting short in the pocket. Positive yards.
Mm-hmm.
There's a saying, I don't know who said it first, but it's a business saying, can't go broke making a profit. Can't go broke picking up yards, right? Just pick up yards.